Free TV, in association with getoutofdebtfree.org.
So Mandy, you've really missed
Hang on.
Nottingham games.
What are we doing here then?
Well, we're at County Hall once again, and we're here for a specific reason. But first of all, we need to know the history of it. 3 years ago, the now chief executive of this council, the county council, made an implied threat to me whilst I was still in New York, that if I brought the truth of historic child abuse to his council, he'd have me sorted. Well, that means an implied threat of violence. Well, I'm not frightened by it, because I'm not frightened of the truth. But we then go on a year later, right, and we come delivering the truth. And what do? They bring armed response. Armed response from the corrupt Nottingham police, as I used to imply they were. But a year on from that, we get an announcement that the inquiry was going to make Nottingham a case study. Moving on from there, right, within a couple of days, I was in contact with the elected leader of the county council, and we agreed that support packages were needed for survivors, and we actually commenced those procedures in January, and we've worked tirelessly with multi-agencies on a bi-monthly basis, and we've actually started creating a platform where the thing that gets commissioned by these commissioning groups now are listening to survivors, and where things hadn't been commissioned for about 7 or 8 years, we're actually getting proper services delivered to survivors of historic abuse, current abuse, and from that we actually got a transparency from the police as well. We got rid of Chief Constable Chris Hare. We got rid of another gatekeeper, Helen Chamberlain, the corrupt superintendent of the Nottinghamshire Police, and we got actual transparency and a belief that survivors might just be able to get a good crack at justice. In comes an officer by the name of Adrian Pearson. Adrian had promised he'd give us transparency, and from that we got the media blackout lifted. We have Operation Equinox, which oversees Daybreak and Operation Egg Series, and the head of that, Rob Griffin, met with survivors to hear their concerns. We created an open platform. Now, just about the end of September, we had a meeting, meeting all these people that provide support services, and Adrian Pearson put out a letter to survivors outlining a lot of facts about how many children's homes, how many victims, and we all know that they were all council employed staff that perpetrated these crimes. What do we have now? We have the people from the very top echelons of the council logging complaints with the acting chief constable that they don't want him there. Who's running this investigation? Is it the councils investigating themselves, that they don't want the truth to go out? Well, we're about to find out this afternoon, because we're going into our multi-agency meeting with a clear agenda. Our agenda is that we want this transparency. I've been totally anti-Nottinghamshire Police, but you know what? Today, I'm actually going to say something about Adrian Pearson, right? That man's career is probably in tatters, right? And I actually feel for that man, because you know what? Like, for the first time in 5 years of Operation Daybreak, we had an honest policeman. That man, as I said, his career is probably in tatters. I can't comment on other things that I know about Adrian Pearson, because that's personal to him, but we ain't having it. And believe me, the IICSA will be aware of this. They'll be aware from the thing that's happening in Cardiff on Thursday, and I shall be taking it personally into the Truth Project with the IICSA next month. Till then, we wait and see what the outcome is today. It may be that we have to come back to them and shut them down once again. Not going to rule that out, but at the moment we're going in there nice and calm and see what they've got to say.